Hello out there, you wonderful people. This is Andre the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Pitch for Switch discussion. And this one would probably come as no surprise to anyone that I would bring it up. And it's probably because I hear and see so many people complaining about there not being any announcements for Metroid Prime 4 that I'm thinking that, maybe some side stuff that'll hold people over would be a good idea. Now, this is a game that people complained was not put out on the Switch before, which, at the time, I can see why it wasn't put out on the Switch. There were more 3DSs roaming around. It made development costs cheaper. The game would be more available and more ready to be picked up by more people on the 3DS. Plus, it was already established and it was doing very well at the time. And on top of that, they probably had already started development for that platform even before. Well, they probably started development with that platform in mind because Metroid 2 was originally a handheld game. And making Samus Returns for the 3DS just made more sense to them. Though there were a lot of controversies surrounding this game, and a lot of people gave this game chaff because it wasn't AM2R, which, if anybody paid any attention, would realize that AM2R coming out did technically interfere with Samus Returns coming out because they were both remakes of the same game. Even though one was a fan remake of a game, and the other was an official remake. Nonetheless, AM2R is still out there. If you really want to find it, you can. But if you really truly appreciate the series, then you should be supporting Samus Returns. Or should have supported Samus Returns. But Nintendo can give everybody another opportunity to do so by porting Samus Returns to the Nintendo Switch and giving it the HD treatment. And possibly giving it a higher frame rate. I mean, I haven't played that myself, so I don't know particularly, and my 3DS is busted up, which is why I haven't played it. But still, I do believe that if they put it on the Switch, it's not going to get crazy sales because Metroid, unfortunately, has never gotten crazy sales, even though this is a series that does deserve crazy sales. But if you put it on the Switch, I can almost guarantee that it will do better than it did on the 3DS. One, because people can play it on the go and they can play it on their televisions. And that's probably one of the bigger reasons that a lot of people didn't really want to get into Samus Returns because they couldn't play it on their TVs. Because everybody was like, okay, it's time to drop the 3DS, even though there were plenty of games still coming out for the 3DS, and there's still some coming out now, even though the 3DS is out of production. But people just cast it aside automatically once the Switch came out, which was a dumb thing to do. But then again, there's a lot of people that just don't want to deal with lower resolutions and lower frame rates, unfortunately, because they assume that those things mean that the game is bad. And that was why this game got horrible treatment, even though it was actually a very good game. Putting it on the Switch, they can give it a higher frame rate, give you more screen real estate, put the game in HD, and get a lot of the complaints that people had about Samus Returns going to the 3DS out of the way. And they've already said that they want to bring more games from the 3DS over to the Nintendo Switch, and this is a good opportunity to go ahead and do an update for a game that people wanted on the Switch originally. So to me, it just makes a whole lot more sense, and throw in some features for HD Rumble, and you've got a really good Metroid game. It's already a really good Metroid game as it is, and this is a way that they could improve it and kind of make it up for those people that are interested in getting it, but either don't have a 3DS or are unwilling to get it on 3DS for some reason. But hey, if they don't want to get it on 3DS, put it out there at the full price on the Switch. I believe that is a nice compromise. Because people didn't want to get it before, so they should have to pay a little bit more for it now. Even though it also is still available on the 3DS if they really truly want to get it at a lower price. But that's on them. Not necessarily up to me. And I particularly don't care if people have to pay a little bit more because they skipped over it. That's on them. So I know it sounds kind of cold hearted, but when you realize that people bitch and complain about wanting games for the Metroid series, and then when they get them, they decide that they don't want to go buy them, you start to not care so much. But I mean, I think this rambling on that I did, this was actually rather quick succession for as short of a time frame as this video is going to fit in. Because I really thought that this was actually a lot longer than it was, but it's not. So, you guys give your opinions and comments down in the comment section below. I will make more videos. Keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out, everybody.